What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday, October 28th. We're back, bitches, without the herpes. Listen, the joint is brought to you by Stamps.com. I got boxes of 400 fucking mugs going out, and who do you think is helping me? Stamps.com, and I don't have to go nowhere. You're still going to the post office, aren't you? I'll bet you're paying full price on postage also. That's why I use Stamps.com. I send letters, I ship packages. I got a friend in jail. I mail him a letter every 2 weeks. Anytime, anywhere, right from my fucking computer. You could buy, print, and ship. It's that simple. With Stamps.com, you pay a whole lot less. You get discounts up to 40% from the post office rates and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates. My wife has been with Stamps.com since Jesus left Chicago, and we've been sending t-shirts out, hats, mugs, whatever the fuck you need. Now we're sending mugs again, and who do you think we're using? Stamps.com. You got a small business? Stamps.com is a must-have. So do me a favor, stop wasting time going to the post office. Go to Stamps.com instead. Why? Because there's no risk. There's no fucking risk. Use promo code Joey. Write this down. Joey, Joey, to get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage. Listen to me. Free postage and a digital scale. That's all with Stamps.com, and there are no long-term commitments or contracts. Go to Stamps.com right now. Do me a favor. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Joey. That's Stamps.com, promo code Joey. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. Summer is here, and the time is right for dancing in the street. Anyway, the joint is brought to you by BlueChew. BlueChew is tremendous. What does it do? It's an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis at a fraction of the cost. Listen, you pop a BlueChew, they taste good, and 30 minutes later, you're ready to rock. You can take them anytime, day and night. The process is very fucking simple, okay? You can either go to your doctor and him, ask him, Doc, I don't know what's going on with me. My erections aren't any good. You know how embarrassing it is to just say those fucking words? Fuck that. With BlueChew, you sign up at BlueChew.com, you talk to one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, which is within minutes, you'll receive the prescription within days. The best part, it's online. No visits to the doctor, no awkward conversations. You don't gotta go to the fucking pharmacy and the lady looks at you weird. Look at this guy, he needs Viagra. Fuck you. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. Not even the mailman knows. So do me a favor. Even if you don't need him, you want to be the best you could be, right? Why show up with one bullet when you could show up with 22? That's what I'm trying to give you. I want her to walk home with a limp and say, what the fuck was that? This motherfucker broke me. I'm going to Sex Anonymous. That's what happens when you take BlueChew. You sling dick like the Captain Kirk of the Enterprise. So if you could benefit from the extra confidence when it's time to perform, BlueChew can help. And they've got a special deal for you. You ready? You could try BlueChew for free. Free. Just use promo code Joey, pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Joey to receive your first month free. Free. And as always, I want to thank BlueChew for sponsoring the joint. So go to BlueChew.com right now and start the process. It's Monday, cocksuckers. Let's get this party started. You got BlueChew. You got the 4th of July next week. If you call BlueChew today, you'll have a package by Thursday. By fucking Saturday, forget about it. You'll be lighting up people's assholes with your dick instead of fireworks. Go to BlueChew.com right now. Let's get this fucking party started.
Hey, how you doing? Come on in. Yeah, Joey's in the back.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? We're back, bitches. It's Monday, October 28th. Listen, I'm very sorry about last week. It was just too rough of a fucking week. You know, my daughter was, she had 3 half days, then school ended on Wednesday. I shot the TV show a day and a half. I had to go all the way to fucking Queens and all the way to fucking Brooklyn. I'll never go in that fucking city again. Jesus Christ. There were squeegee people everywhere, people knocking on my fucking windows. I was telling Mike, the guy, I went to make a right turn. I swear to God, the guy had the right to make a right on the corner. The light had a fucking arrow. And some guy just crossed in front of him and started giving him the finger and shit. Listen, I'm not going over there no more. Not till if they fucking clear that out or they hire a new fucking mayor. But we're here to talk about something that I wanted to get off my chest with you motherfuckers for the last 10 months. That's why last week was fucking crucial. You know, we had Father's Day last week. Mike wanted to spend it with his kid. I had the fucking softball tournament, which they fucking ended up winning. She got a trophy. She was happy. You know, it's just a lot of things, and it's good to take a break once in a while. You don't want to be a slave to your fucking job, dog. It's good to take a break and sit on the couch and fart and smell your farts. Ain't nothing fucking wrong with that. You know, I try to relax. Listen, guys, I don't know how to fucking relax. And every time I try to relax, something fucking happens. My wife bought a hammock. Beautiful hammock. Mike, it holds 500 fucking pounds. She hung it up perfectly. I go, let me go relax like a regular fucking American, right? Because I've never relaxed. I don't understand that. You ever see people in a lounge chair and they go like to a fucking, like into a trance? I've tried going into a trance. It don't work for me. So I go out to the fucking thing. I go, let me just go out there. My daughter and my wife are upstairs. So I go in the backyard. It's kind of cloudy out. I don't know what to expect. I just want to relax and see, get a little wilderness. So I lay in the hammock. Dog, it went all the way down. Boom! Like it just didn't even swing or nothing. So I was like, what am I going to do? I'm a fat fuck. So I swear to God, I just crossed my arms and I'm like, I'm going to die in here. And I just looked up at the trees for about 15 minutes, just breathing. It was beautiful. Then it started raining and I'm like, fuck. And I said, fuck it, you know, because she's not going to hear my cries. I wouldn't even yell. I was just going, Terry! And I'm like, I know she's not going to hear me. So I just sat in the fucking hammock, getting rained on, looking at chipmunks and shit. And next thing you know, my wife comes out. She's like, Joe. And I'm like, I'm over here in the hammock. She fucking almost died of fucking laughter. She goes, it's all the way to the floor. How are you even enjoying it? I go, I wasn't. I was making believe I was in a canoe. I took myself to a place where I was in a canoe. I was with Indians. I was taking a nap. We were crossing over the bridge. It never ends in my fucking life, you know? I go to relax the one day. I go to the softball. Listen, I work out in the mornings and then to decompress. Just not to ride the bike and stuff. I go for a little mile walk. You know, it's 2 times around the thing, 3 times around the thing. Sometimes I smoke a number. Sometimes I just go straight and absorb the vitamin C. You're not going to believe this, Mike. I'm walking. I'm minding my own business. I'm not on the fucking phone. I'm just walking, thinking about life, looking at rocks and shit. You know, what you do when you're in the wilderness. And I look up and there's a fucking deer running at me. And I'm not talking about he's like, you know how usually you just see him and they see you and they start bouncing? Fuck no. This motherfucker was running towards me. Now, there's a softball field and it's got a fence. And it goes all the way around and then there's an opening in the middle so you could cut through. It divides the 2 fields. It's like a home run fucking fence. So I'm walking towards the fucking fence. I don't cut through the thing. I walk all the way around. Then I walked to my car. Not that day. I walked once. I go, I'm feeling good. Let me walk it again. As I walk right here, I hear these weeds and shit. And all of a sudden I see this fucking deer just running at me. I didn't see horns or anything. I just saw a deer running at me. Full fucking speed ahead. So I look at him and I go, holy shit. And I start backpedaling a little bit, but I got the fucked up knee. So I had to run. You should have seen Uncle Joey running. I fucking turned around and I just started running for my fucking life. This deer's gonna bite me or whatever the fuck they do. Next thing you know, I don't hear him running anymore. I look, he jumped the fence and there was an opening in the back fence and I saw 2 little baby, she had 2 little babies with her. She was running them. They were brand new. she was just running them, and they're trying to run to keep up next to her, and I go, don't I feel like a fucking jerk off? That is fucking crazy, man. So it was one of those weeks. Don't worry about it. I shot 2 days. I lifted. I did everything I had to do. I feel a lot fucking better. I went to the doctor. We went over my fucking blood results. Everything's beautiful. No diabetes. The thing she was really flipping out about was the cholesterol. I'm right on point. I'm perfect. And that's the weights. Thank you, whoever invented weights for old fucking people. Thank you, because it cut down on my diabetes. I don't even have diabetes, but I'm not even close to the area. My sugar was a little high, so we're trying to figure out what it was. I'm not eating sweets, so it's probably fucking white rice or pasta. You know, ever since I moved here, I got Italians. I'm surrounded by the best, so I got Italians over here, and they knock on the door and give you homemade pasta and lasagnas and fucking zucchinis and all this shit. So my weight's down, everything's good, so we're ready to fucking rock and roll. What I wanted to talk to you guys today was something that was going on, I was feeling, and through the therapist, you know, I started talking to a therapist. She helped me. I talked to my friends. I talked to Jerry Rocha. I talked to as many people as I could. I talked to Jerry Rocha because he's facing stage 4 right now. Not stage 4, but he just has colon cancer. God bless him. We've been communicating a lot, and nobody could give you a great advice as somebody who's staring at death. Nobody gives you good advice until they're in a position where they're appreciating life, you know? So I've talked to a few people, and it was weird. About 3 weeks ago, before I got this audition for this TV show, I got, you know, you usually have to go through wardrobe. And since we have COVID now, you're not allowed to just go over there. Like it used to be, you go over there, they measure you, and then you come back the next day, and they put a suit on you, or they try the costumes out, and they take a picture for the director, and the director picks out your fucking suit. So, as you'll see in the picture, I put the fucking, she calls me up, and she goes, what size suit are you? And I go, I have no fucking idea. I haven't worn a suit in fucking years. I got like 10 of them, but I just don't wear them. So I went upstairs and I grabbed the one that they gave me from Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, when I did the miniseries before the movie came out. I did this thing for them, and I'll never forget that. It's a Calvin Klein fucking suit. They came out and they go, do you want to buy it? And I go, absolutely. It was like 2 days before Christmas. And they go, if you want to buy it, we'll sell it for you for $1,200. I go, I don't want a $1,200 suit. What am I going to do? What do I need a fancy suit for, Charlie? I ain't got no job to wear it. So fucking, they came back and they go, you know what? Merry Christmas. Keep the suit. So that suit was from God knows, you know, whenever I did the Dark Moon Rises. It's a black suit. I don't even think, you know, it's like wakes and shit. When do I go to wakes? So she asked me what the size the suit was, and she goes, why don't you put it on and take a fucking picture? And I put it on, and my wife took a picture of it like you're seeing right now. And next thing you know, I mean, the suit just didn't fucking fit. Like, it was 3 sizes too big. The pants were falling off me. Even with suspenders, it wouldn't work. But it was pretty interesting. You know, yeah, I lost weight. You know, shit like that happened. So in the process of me figuring out what the fuck was going on with me, why I had all this anxiety, you know, I walk, you know, listen, if I'm going to tell you guys to do something or give you advice, I have to follow my own advice. You know what I'm saying? So when you're stuck, you know, you try to talk to people, but every once in a while you have to talk to people who aren't biased, you know, who aren't biased. Somebody's going to give you what they feel it is. And after 3 weeks of talking to the therapist, she goes, I've really been thinking about your situation. Your body rejecting the reefer, you know, you not taking edibles, you not wanting to do comedy, you not wanting to do a lot of things. You know, it came to the conclusion that you don't really know in life when you're fucking happy and unhappy. Sometimes you get caught up in such a circle that it's so repetitive, and it feels right, but it doesn't. And that's what happened when I moved here. I came back here, and I'm around normal people, and my body and my mind did not know how to handle it. I did not know how to act, because for the last 23 years, I've been walking around fake people and fucking pigs, people who'll do anything to get to where they need to be. Like I've told you before, this phone doesn't ring anymore. It doesn't ring not because I don't pay the bill. It doesn't ring because I'm in Jersey. Nobody needs me for anything now. Out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I knew the animal I was dealing with before I got into it, but I didn't know that I was so unhappy. And when I found out, you know, like what was really bothering, like I wrote down my triggers. I wrote them down. Listen, I did the work. I did the homework that the therapist assigned. And I started writing down the things that bothered me, like what gets under my fucking skin. And I just kept writing and writing and writing and writing. And it was the life I was living in Los Angeles. And I didn't know it until I go on Instagram and I look at all these other comics and the desperation I had. I'm not a desperate person. I've never been a desperate person. But we all didn't know any better. You know how nice it is that I don't have to put my dates on Twitter anymore? Do you know how nice, you know how great that is to me, that I don't have to keep putting dates on fucking Twitter, that I could just be normal on fucking Twitter every time. I didn't want you to think that every time you fucking looked at my Twitter page or my Instagram page, it's me selling a date, you know? I got sick of doing all that shit. I just got really sick of it. I love stand-up comedy. It made me the person who I am today. But no, correction, it didn't make me the person who I am today. It was part of what made me the man that I am today. And me stepping away from it and seeing it from a different perspective from 2,000 miles away made me realize something. The other night, I was telling Mike that the joy I find, listen, you can't watch TV no more. I mean, it's just, I'm to the point in my life, I watched 2 things this week, and I only watched them because I needed to watch these 2 movies. I watched To Live and Die in L.A., great movie about counterfeit money. Half the lines I quote are stolen from that. John Turturro has some great lines in that movie. Have you ever seen that, Mike? To Live and Die in L.A. about counterfeit money? I don't think... Maybe back in the day. Yeah, I don't think the Secret Service and the FBI were too happy with that movie. It's all about counterfeit money and how they do it. The guy that played, I forget what his name is, Willem Dafoe, played the fucking main guy. He was great. The guy from CSI is in it. He disappeared after that. It was a Michael Mann movie. I think it's a Michael Mann movie. Don't quote me on that. And then last night I watched it. The Friday night I watched The Motherfucking Crow. God damn, I was crying. I called my wife, my daughter down. I go, this is Bruce Lee's son when he was fighting the black dude with the dreads. Yeah. The guy was throwing knives at him and fucking, when he stabs the guy, the black guy up against the fucking thing, my daughter's like, ugh. I go, yeah, it's time for you to go upstairs. You don't need to see this shit. Bruce Lee's son's about to go off. So, he cut that motherfucker up nice. Great movies. But beside that, at night, I come downstairs, I do a little reading, and then at about 9:45, I make my fucking tea. Not the Michael Jackson tea. I've cut it down. All I put in the Michael Jackson tea now is 2 bags of Kikomo tea, Kikoko tea, and I put 2 25 Sleepy Time edibles from ABX. Tremendous. I sleep like a fucking baby. And let me tell you what my development is. I'm getting blitzed on 50 milligrams. I was getting so blitzed on 50 milligrams, I said, fuck it. Let's pop another one in there to see where it takes us. And I got to 75 milligrams. Let me tell you something. I called Lee the other night, and Lee goes, you sound fucked up. I go, Lee, I'm calling you because I am fucked up on 75%. 75. Lee, we haven't even fucking gotten, we used to have to take 200 just to get a giggle out of us. And then we would go up to 800, 1,000, 2,000. I am getting high on 75 fucking milligrams. And then I smoke a little bit, and I come back here and I play the guitar. And then what I do is, per Mike, I put an album on, and I try to play along with the album. No bueno. It's not working out for me. But you know what? I'm learning different things. I'm learning like, oh, this is that chord. This is that. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's a C or an E. I don't know. And I don't care. The best thing is that I'm getting therapy for music. But I made a mistake. I got really high the other night, and I put the album on Animals. Animals breaks it down for you. I'm sitting there, I'm sitting back, and I'm taking in this Animal album. Animals is about dogs, pigs. It classifies people as dogs, pigs, and sheep. Pretty fucking close to what we're living through right now. The dogs are the people that make things happen. The pigs are the fucking, these people that inflict greed and fucking this creepy feeling onto you all the time when you see them. They're just capitalist fucking pigs. That's all they are. Trust me. And that's what I consider agents and that whole scene in Hollywood. I became one of those fucking pigs without even fucking knowing. And trust me, I wasn't a pig. Like, I got a call the other day from my agent going, listen, guess what? You could raise your ticket prices to $45. People are paying $45 for tickets. I go, why don't you fucking go jump off a fucking bridge or something like that? It's the toughest time in fucking America, and you want to charge $45 for a fucking comedy ticket? I mean, I don't even want to talk to them no more. They are just the most embarrassing people I've ever met in my life. But then, I got to be honest with you, I looked at some of the comics that some of them are still my friends, and I love them dearly. And you could see the desperation coming through the fucking screen. All that stuff, that's not the reason why I got into fucking comedy. I got into comedy to drop out, to be part of a gang like the Hells Angels without fucking motorcycles. I wanted to be a part of something. But at the end of the day, I wasn't a part of anything. I was a part of a group of guys and a group of women that's all about them, and they're trying to advance them. I advanced me by working hard and living in a fucking car and driving across the country. I never expected to get to the heights that I did in comedy. I'm grateful I did. I'm happy for fucking felons that now you have a purpose. You know that you could do it. This podcast was never about me looking down at you, me showing you what I didn't have. Oh, look at me. I'm grilling up steaks tonight. Who gives a fuck? There's people that are eating peanut butter and jelly fucking sandwiches. You know, during the pandemic, I saw people putting lobster tails up online and shit. People are barely fucking eating. They're scared. But this is the world we live in today, and I accept it for what it was. But ever since I moved here, I had to do something that was really rough. I had to accept my new life. I had to accept feeling normal, and that raised my anxiety. When I'm around normal people who don't give a fuck about Instagram, I've never been around those people. I've never been around those people. For the last 23 years, I've been around people that come into your life, and they don't come into your life like Mike came into mine. They come into your life with a fucking agenda. You know, so many people were contacting me with an agenda that I couldn't fucking fulfill. I still got a girl now that I love to pieces. I love her to pieces. And she contacts me all the time for advice, and I give her the advice, and it's like, it's still not enough. I cannot help. I'm not there. I'm not there, so I can't help you. You're there. You have to make these decisions upon yourself as a comic. But the real clinker this week, what really made me realize where I was and why I'm so happy and why I'm a different person now, is because I had a long overdue conversation with Lee. In fact, we spoke 2 nights in a row for about an hour. And I called him to do one thing. Number one, I apologized to him. And number two, we figured out what was going on. We were enabling each other. You know, Lee couldn't lose a pound. I couldn't lose a pound. What's Lee doing right now? He's down 100 pounds. He's dating a little fucking girl he met. He's going out. He's a complete different. And it took me a while to get it. Like, what is Lee doing? I mean, we talk every other night and stuff like this, but this conversation this week was the first time we were candidly honest with one another. And I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sorry if I'm letting this out. I think we discussed it on the podcast, on the church. Lee was seeing a therapist for a long time. Lee was seeing a therapist. It's none of my business what he was talking to the therapist about. I would never ask him. I would break his balls and say to him, what'd she say to you today, you know? And he would give me little bits and blurbs of what she would say. So I never thought about it then. I thought about the blips and blurbs he told me this week while I was on the phone with him. Lee was miserably unhappy. Miserably unhappy. And I go, Lee, when did you see the change in me? And he goes, I started seeing you not being yourself, and it was after the Netflix special. Because I hadn't worked hard all those years to do a Netflix special that in my eyes I didn't like, because I didn't like the whole thing. I didn't like how it was treated. I didn't like how it all went down. My agent made me get a manager to get the fucking thing. And now, a couple weeks ago, I got a bill from my agent for a commission from a residual check from my special. And I called them up and I go, you got nothing coming to you. You know why you got nothing coming to you? Because you can in LA, oh, he's great friends with mine. Well, if you go to a Laker game with a fucking guy, tell him, listen, I need my fucking guy to get a special. No, he made me get a manager, pay him 10% of my fucking money, and then that guy grouped me in with a bunch of fucking mooks into this thing. I ended up shooting it, thank God, with Yamanika and fucking Big J and fucking, Christine, and it ended up working. I mean, I had fun while I was there with Christine and Yamanika and fucking, whoever else was there, the nice white girl, I forget what her name was. I mean, we had a great time as a crew. Brad Williams, we had a great time as a crew. But what was going on, I didn't like. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel it was why I got into stand-up. And that's when my descent started. I didn't even, I started drinking the fucking coffees. I had to, eat, 600 milligrams a day before the podcast just to get through the day. I had to take 2 edibles at night to get on stage. I had to drink 4 fucking espressos to get on stage. I mean, these things were just, it was very fucking disturbing when I look at it now. Last week, I was doing something, and I went outside to check the car, to see my neighbor, and I come back, and there's this big box in front of the house. That was the fucking turning point. I saw this big box in front of my house, and I brought it in. I'm like, I wonder what's in this fucking box. 3 of the prettiest fucking bongs you've ever seen in your life. Beautiful. Beautiful. Little one, a medium one, and we'll be using them. But when I looked at it, I closed the box and I put the box in the garage. When I left LA, I had 2 or 3 beautiful bongs. I gave the $1,000 bong, I gave it to a friend of mine because I wasn't going to leave that there. But the little mule and the big mule, I left under the sink at the old house. And I didn't look back. I don't care if the landlord found it. I don't care if the cleaning lady found it. I left them there, and without knowing, I did a bunch of stuff without knowing. I left the bongs there without knowing what it signified. I left the fucking, I went to the Comedy Store, and I really, really said goodbye. I put my hand on the wall, and I said goodbye. I was saying, without consciously knowing, I was saying goodbye to that whole fucking world. I was just saying goodbye. Listen, I smoke pot now. I'm not a pothead anymore. That's a big fucking difference. I was telling Mike, I'm smoking this weed at night, this cactus buds from fucking the ice cream shop. If you get a minute, go get some cactus buds or the regular cactus OG. It's like 35 or 36%. Woo! Because I thought I was going to come back smoking lower end reefer, but I can't find no lower end reefer. So I smoked the CBD weed for a couple of weeks just to really bring down. Remember that joint I smoked? I started taking 2 or 3 hits from it to calm me down. It really worked. Cleaned up my lungs a little bit, and now, I mean, that 60 days or whatever I did where I didn't smoke for 30-something days, and then I just started taking one hit, because that's all you're supposed to do with this weed. You're not supposed to be smoking blunts of this shit. You're just wasting fucking weed. No wonder I was going through an 8th in fucking 2 days. I got friends that tell me an 8th lasts them a fucking week. I was going through an 8th in a day and a half. I would buy 4 8s, and I'd be back at the store 2 days later. Just smoking at the office, smoking at my house, whatever, smoking outside, bringing joints to the Comedy Store, and that's great. Listen, I had a lot of fucking fun, but But once I moved here, all that shit went away. How did it go away? Did I try to go? What do you think? I went to NA meetings and said, hi, my name is Joey. I'm a pot smoker. Remember that idiot that went to fucking celebrity rehab for smoking pot? If you go to a rehab for smoking pot, go shoot yourself. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, I had a friend who went to a rehab for smoking cigarettes. And he went to like 2 rehabs for smoking cigarettes. His parents put him in a rehab for smoking cigarettes. I saw him one day. He's like, I got to smoke a cigarette fucking under the car because they got cameras all over me. I can't smoke fucking cigarettes. You know, listen, you got a problem with fucking pills or coke or heroin. That's one thing. Weed you could do on your own. There's really no fucking withdrawals. You get fucking, listen, I had some fucking weird dreams. I had one night I had a dream my mother was on the bed with me talking to me. I woke right the fuck up. I came down. I threw holy water on myself. It was fucking scary. I got a little holy water from the church I go to on Sundays, a little bottle, just in case the devil shows up. I swear to God, I threw holy water on myself instead of fucking prayer. I had a dream about my father. I had a dream about Anna Bender. I mean, my fucking dreams were getting too fucking vivid. I was like, fuck this shit. It was like alpha brain dreams. I love doing alpha brain, but those 6 weeks, that cycle I put myself on, those are fucking clear dreams. I mean, you see your dick going into her ass. You see the toilet hair she left on her ass, the toilet paper. I mean, not that I have sexual dreams, but I'm just saying to you, that's how clear your fucking dreams are on alpha brain. So, you know, my dreams are just, it was 3 weeks of fucking waking up going, I didn't even remember that fucking shit with my mother, you know. But in my conversations with Lee, I mean, both nights we both got off the phone really fucking happy because we both got to tell each other the truth, you know. I had to stop the podcast. It had to end. It wasn't going to continue. I couldn't continue that. It was great on film. What you guys were seeing was funny and blah, 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 blah. But he even said there was kind of like a fucking thing in the room, you know. And I remember nobody had ever came to that spot like that, wasn't invited. And one night I told Lee, and then the podcast, August 10th, whatever, it must have been 2 hours after that him and I were wrapping up. And somebody drove by, some girls and a guy, and they were like, Joey, Lee, come out. And we're like, what the fuck? It's time to get out of here. Like everything was pointing at that direction. You know, Lee was making good money. You know, we were doing good things together, but we weren't happy. We just weren't happy. You think Lee just mysteriously lost 100 pounds? He was just carried. That was the only way he was suppressing what he was feeling. He was in pain, you know, from what I'm getting from this therapist. I was in pain. At first I was like, I think this lady's crazy. But then I started looking. And I started looking at the lives that comics have to live. And the way these agents, I remember being over here shooting the fucking Soprano movie. And these agents kept calling me. So what do you want to do about this date? What do you want to do about this date? I don't want to do nothing. I just want to shoot the Soprano movie. That's what's in front of me. That's what's in fucking front of me. Let me tell you something for you young comics. I'm going to give you the best advice in the world. And I'm thinking of writing a book on the fucking subject. Stay an open micer as much as you can. Wear that label and wear it proudly. Wear that open mic label proudly. Go out, have a great time, drink, do drugs, get your dick sucked. That's what it means to be an open micer, to get into comedy. Get your clique together, get your 4 or 5 guys that you live and breathe for, like I had in Seattle with Josh Wolf and Brody and Tana Manu. And, you know, we just had our own little fucking clique. That's comedy. That's real comedy. That's comedy from the heart. You're making $50. You barely pay your rent. As miserable as that lifestyle sounds, it's so much fun. I had a great time in Seattle as an open micer / beginning to feature act. And let me tell you something. I had a great time when I got to the store. I mean, knock on wood, she passed me. I had a great time. It was where I belonged. I was having a great time there. They pay $15 a spot, guy. But it's a college. You're learning. I'm following Paul Mooney. I'm talking to Rogan. I met Dice. I mean, all this was great. You know, all those early movies, I had a great time getting them. Nobody wanted to talk to me as a stand-up. Fuck you. You're not going to stop me, you know. Just because you don't like my stand-up, I'm too dirty. I do this with my hand. Oh, we can't put him in Montreal. Fuck you. I never wanted to be a part of that, and I didn't know it. I remember Bobby Slayton inviting me to Montreal. He said, I'll sneak you into the dirty show. And I took a flight to Detroit. And I was going to connect from Detroit. I was going to sneak into Canada to try. There was a comic that had a show in Canada. He said he'd get me in, and then I could get to Montreal on my own. And I'll never forget waking up and going, I'm not going to Montreal. I wasn't invited. I'm going to go up there like a desperado and go on stage and try to do what? What am I going to get from going up there? What am I missing? If they don't want me there, I don't fucking belong there. And I'll never forget, like, calling the airline and going, listen, I'm not going to fucking, or whoever, my friend, and going, forget it. But I'm not going, why? I said, I'm not fucking going. And I remember that there was a comedy club down the corner. It was an African-American comedy club named Coco's Comedy Club. And I walked in there and I said, listen, I'm here for a couple of days. Do you mind if I pop in? She was cool as fuck. She let me pop in. I got to meet some brothers. It was a great 3 days. It was a lot better than me going to Montreal because I didn't belong there. And then when I went to L.A., listen, what you people forget was in 2009, after I got married, I was done. I had seen it for what it was. I moved into the Valley. I had friends that were going to put me in their TV shows. I got a call from Greg Garcia last week. I'm going to Pittsburgh in September to shoot 3 episodes of his show with Christina P. is in it, his new show for Amazon. You know, I have friends that are writers, and I'll just fucking take their spoons. Whenever they call me up and go, you want to play a fucking rapist? I'm in. What do I give a fuck? It's 3 days, and I get insurance, and I eat, and I see some people, and that's all I want to fucking do. But no, the podcast revolution came in. I got into it, and yes, it was very interesting at first. It was very funny, but I think by me putting my heart on the line and telling you everything about me, then all of a sudden, 10 years later, people started taking that and using it against me. In emails and in videos. You got these guys now that have shows based on what people say, and they analyze you. And meanwhile, they don't even have a fucking talent. They can't even play the fucking flute. They can't even play a fucking cowbell. And they're there judging you. So I don't know what the fuck has happened to comedy. What the fuck? But one conclusion came out of this week. I don't want to be involved in that no more. I'm going to put up regular fucking tweets now. I could put up lick my balls, sniff my asshole. I don't have to worry about fucking dates. Am I saying I'm not going to do comedy again? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not doing comedy that style no more. I'm not doing comedy that style anymore. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life and the agents. I'm acting. We're doing a podcast. On Tuesday, we signed the contract for the fucking book. We're up to chapter 9. We got till March of 2022 to hand it in because there's so much fucking material. We're doing an audio book. So I have so many other things going on. Plus the main thing, I'm a father to a little girl. This week, I had to do something that I thought I'd never have to do. Wednesday, I don't know what was going on upstairs. All I know is I went upstairs and my wife was crying on the bed. And I go, what happened? And she just went off on, you know, that she cleans cat shit and all this other shit and nobody helps her. And, you know, I try to help her as much as I can. But I think Mercy pushed her over the top. They had some type of conversation and Mercy said something to her. I don't know what happened. All I know is that my wife said, I got to leave. And she got in the car and left for a half hour. I went in there and I talked to Mercy. I didn't yell. I just asked her what happened. And I go, listen, you can't have these beefs with Mom. I go, now there was a party on Wednesday, a kid's party, that she wanted to go to. We punished her. And I made up 4 pages where I will not argue with Mom anymore. I will not argue with Mom. So when she came home on the last day of school, she had to clean her bathroom, clean her bedroom, vacuum it. And I'll never forget, I had to go upstairs and bring her the 4 sheets and put them down. Guys, it was the most painful thing I ever did in my life. I had to leave. She took a punishment. She sat down. She wrote, I think on page 3, her mother said she had a little nervous breakdown because she thought that once she finished, she could go to the party. And her mother told her, no, you're grounded for the fucking day. Let me tell you something. That old cliche line, this is going to hurt you, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. It hurt me. I had to leave. I never thought I'd have to punish her for the day. You know, I had to leave. But guess what? When I got home, I went in her room. I told her, you're done. It's over. And the most important thing is we will never, ever bring this up again. And this is what life should be like. You know what? 30 years ago, I did time. I didn't have to tell you, motherfuckers. I didn't have to tell you. I told you for a reason, because I wanted you to know the animal you were dealing with. I didn't want to hide nothing from you. I don't want you to come back in 10 years and go, you never told me you went to prison for kidnapping. I don't really like you anymore. I don't like doing business with criminals. No, my purpose wasn't that. My purpose was to let you know that, yes, I fucked up. But I paid my dues, and I became a fucking functioning member of society. That's what this podcast is about. Not for me to grill steaks and fucking show you the steaks I'm grilling or who I'm hanging out with or whose ass I'm kissing that week. If you notice, I don't kiss nobody's fucking ass. I don't even kiss my own fucking ass. I don't give a fuck. So all that lifestyle is fucking behind me, and that's what I was going through. That's what all the anxiety was eating away at me, was that fucking, I'm back in a normal place, A, and B, I don't have to ever deal with that shit anymore. I'm not going to Austin. I'll probably go down there in September to promote The Sopranos if they let me. If not, that's fine too. Joe's still my brother. I don't care what, I don't care about Spotify or anything. Listen, they let me do ads for his show. They let our podcast go up on Spotify. I guess I got music on there or whatever. I got no beefs with anybody. I don't want to create no problems for anybody. If Joe says, come on down in September with David Chase or whatever, I'm down there. I'll get to see Bert. I don't know if I'll be performing yet. But for right now, man, I'm going to enjoy the summer. I'm going to be a fucking father. And it's rough. It really is rough. I had a war within myself. On this side, I had the Palestinians, and on this side, I had the Jews, and they were just throwing rocks at each other in my fucking brain. I was confused all day, so I had to make a fucking statement. And I remember I was at the gym one morning lifting, and I finished, and Jimmy Florentine was in there, and he was waiting for me. And I looked him right in the eye, and I came to a conclusion. I'm not doing fucking comedy right now. I'm going to do it when I'm fucking good and ready. I'm not letting anybody pressure me. I'm going to Guns N' Roses on the 11th of September. Some people want me to do a show up north in North Bergen. You know what? I love them. I respect North Bergen. I love everything they stand for. It was my home. They tolerated me, but in my life, I got to keep them arm's distance right now. A lot of things are happening in my life that are fucking changing. For example, let me tell you this. The people I thought were going to be my friends when I got here are not my friends. I got a whole new batch of fucking friends. And the people that have reached out to me the most are my friends from grammar school. In fact, we're planning a little fucking very quiet reunion amongst us. I want to read you a text message that I got from one of them last week. And this is what really got me thinking about why these people are reaching out to me. And now, these are the people that knew me when I wasn't a thief, when I wasn't a piece of shit, and when I wasn't on drugs. I smoked pot with these guys on Fridays, and we giggle, and we put Visine in our eyes, and put fucking, Chateau No. 5, some shitty cologne or Aqua Velva on, so your mother wouldn't smell it. But I want to read you this. email that this kid sent me, and it really made me think about life and what I did. Hey, brother man, I'm on my way to the Valley Hospital. There's a mass in my chest, just in case this is it. I just wanted to tell you that I love you, and I couldn't have asked for a better childhood friend. How lucky was I? That text meant more to me than any TV show, any movie, any film, any Netflix special. You could rub your fucking ass with that shit. That fucking text message changed me right there. I don't know where Valley Hospital, I called my sister, who's a nurse practitioner, and I asked her where it was. She found out for me. She told me they wouldn't give me information on the phone. The reason why he's not answering the phone is because maybe he didn't have a charger in the hospital. I almost didn't sleep all night. I reached out to his sister on Facebook. His name is Dean. Dean was with me in the 6th grade one day, and we were going to get a wiffle ball bat. Our story to our parents were we were getting wiffle ball bats. We would cut off the bottom of the bat where you grip the bat, and we would fill it up with rocks. And then we would crazy glue the handle back on and tape it. And we would use it as a bat and wiffle ball, but also as weapons against the fucking kids. So when people would hit us with those fucking Duratesk tubes, we would whack them with a wiffle. You ever get hit with a wiffle ball bat with rocks in it? It's not a pretty fucking day for you. So me and Dean in my mother's bar, this is how back I go with these guys. So I'm with Dean in my mother's bar. My mother's at a track, and it's me and the fat guy, Arnardo Docampo. Arnardo was the guy that would simulate masturbation in front of us. He would go, look at you motherfucking faggots playing fucking wiffle ball. You should be at home getting your dick sucked. And we're like in the 6th grade, me and Dean. In the 70s, it's not like now. Like one night I took my daughter to dinner with my wife, and we stopped at the Comedy Store, and they actually came over to me. They go, after 8 o'clock, your daughter can't be here. And I was like, that's fine. I wasn't mad or angry. I understood, liquor law licenses and shit. But in the 70s, a kid could sit at a fucking bar till 3 in the morning. They wouldn't say shit. And I'd invite all my friends. When your mother has a bar and you're a fucking kid, and you invite all your friends to your mother's bar to watch a TV show, and they're all drinking Cokes with cherries in them, making believe we're fucking, Burt Bacharach. We're all sitting there. We wouldn't even smoke or nothing, but we were actually sitting there like we thought we were the Rat Pack with little fucking rock glasses with rocks in it and Coca-Cola and cherries. And, we just sit there, all of us, and drink and shit. Like, it was great to be at a bar when you're fucking in the 6th grade with like 10 6th graders drinking Cokes with cherries in them, playing unlimited pool. It was fantastic. My mother would cook Cuban food for us, but on this particular day she wasn't there. We went to Hernandez. We got a Cuban sandwich. Dean is an Irish dude, Leprete, and he loved all that Cuban shit. But he was, in those days, it was the 70s. White kids were scared to go into Spanish joints. It wasn't like it is now that you go in there. Hi, I want 2 empanadas, In the fucking 70s, you were white, you ate pizza and sandwiches. You didn't really fuck with the Cubans, and the Cubans didn't fuck with you, But these kids would come up, and, Dean Leprete. Listen, we're going to have this reunion. It's me, Dean, David Ruiz, Chucky McBreen from Ramapo College, who I got the COVID shot for, the J&J COVID shot for. After 40 years of friendship, I called him up and I go, I know you. We were talking, and he goes, when he gets he wants a J&J shot. He doesn't know where to get it. Who hooked us up? Another childhood friend, Lucio Fernandez, who's a commissioner in Union City, told us, come up and get the fucking J&J shot. Not even North Bergen. It was fucking Union City. So we got Lucio. We got Chucky McBreen from Ramapo. We got Dean Leprete coming. My sister Lisa. We got Louis Hernandez, who I used to call something else because I didn't call him that, but he was Dominican and had an afro. They called him Louis Black Lives Matter. So we can't say what they used to call him. He's a psychiatrist. He's showing up. And these are the people I have been talking to lately. All the people from high school that I tell you that I used to do drugs with and go crazy with, they're persona non grata. They're still doing their own thing. There's 6 of them that stopped talking to me, and that's fine. I could give the Frenchman's fuck. It was time to move on anyway. This is a whole new fucking life with a whole new fucking set of rules, you know? I don't know if I finished this TV show yet. They told me they'd see me again, maybe after this week. I mean, we're going into the 4th of July week. Don't expect Dick to happen after Wednesday. We're putting up a podcast Wednesday, but after Wednesday, everybody's going to be thinking about potato salad and, you know, what color the picnic tables are and do we have enough fireworks. There ain't much going to happen. I'll still be on Patreon dropping fucking knowledge for you guys so you're not bored to fucking pieces. But what I wanted you to take out of this podcast, the most important thing, was what my wife told me. You know, there's a little boy that comes to the softball games. Great kid. I love him to death. There's a little couple kids that, you know, the girls have little brothers and stuff. But there's one boy, his father's fucking great. His mother's great. The little girl is great. Her and Mercy went to the movies. Mercy really loves her to death. But the little brother is, he's on the spectrum, you know, and that's not his fault. He's still a great kid. At the games, he sits on my laps and he fucking pulls my ear. Him and another kid named Joey, they love tormenting me and shit, and I love them both. But my wife said that he usually asks his mom, like, Mom, what's going on with me? Mommy, can you fix me? You know, it's, and he's a good kid, you know, and I play with him and I throw the ball for him and I do magician trips, you know, I take my finger off and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I do all that shit with him and I'll put a picture up for you guys of me and Joey. Joey's another one that always tortures me, punches me, fucking, I always tell him, because he's Italian, but I always go, mira el pajarito. And then I tickle him and he's like, ah, so he tries to tickle me at the restaurant and shit. It's great. But you know, he always tells his mom, Mommy, what's going on with me? Can you fix me, you know? And a couple nights ago, I looked at my wife and I go, you know, I feel like that little boy. Maybe last Thursday, I told my wife, you know, I feel like that little boy at times. I go, you know, and I told my wife, I go, Mommy, can you fucking fix my head? I don't know what's going on with me anymore. And she goes, what's happening? Thank God I got tighter with my wife during this pandemic. Thank God I had the power to be free with her. One of the biggest things, I had the movie this week, and Mercy was graduating, and Mike had Father's Day, and Mike's son had ear surgery, and we had a lot of things going on. But I can't lie to you guys. Sunday night was the worst panic attack I've ever gotten in my life since August 21st. I mean, I basically had to get out of the car. Thank God my brother George was here. I love him with all my heart. 50 years, he's been there for me. He was waiting for me with Kara on the balcony. And I walked up the balcony, and I basically took my shirt off in public, which I never do. You know, I haven't pulled the Burt Kreischer in years. And I got the bag of ice that Fanny sent me from my knee surgery, and I just had to put it on my neck. That's how bad the panic was. And I had to take my shoes off. I was sweating profusely, my palms. And, you know, I took my medication. I popped a little fucking football, and I just sat downstairs with my brother and talked. And at the end of the night, you know, my wife came down. We put Mercy to sleep, blah, 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 blah. And I asked my wife, you know, I told my wife what was going on from A to Z. From, you know, she's noticed that there's no reefer smoke downstairs or outside. You know, there was a little box I used to put my roaches in. The box disappeared. And I told my wife, you know, I don't know what's going on. I've spoken to the therapist. I've spoken to Jerry Rocha. Jerry Rocha really helped me. I've spoken to Mike. I've spoken to Lee. I've come to terms with all this shit. But there's still a piece missing. And my wife looked me in the eye and she goes, Joey, you're not the same person you were in LA, number one. And number two, the suit just doesn't fit anymore. the suit outgrown you. You're not that person. You moved on. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's something that I had to accept, you know. I was walking around here having I was having a hard time. There's an expression people use that they're creeping in their skin. They don't feel comfortable in their skin. For the last 2 months, I haven't felt comfortable in my fucking skin, you know, and I do now, because now I understand it. I'm not that person. That's not who I wanted to be, and that's who I ended up being. Half those people I was hanging out with in L.A., I don't even think I could talk to them no more. We're different people. We're different people. This pandemic changed us, you know. We all change every 7 years. In 2007, I stopped doing cocaine. In 2014, I became a fucking father, and I didn't know what I was walking into. You know, all I knew in my heart it was that I wanted it to work. And in 2021, I realized, you know, 4 months before my 30th anniversary of comedy, that I didn't want to do comedy anymore. I didn't want to be involved with those fucking grandma killers, those people who kept their clubs open and put them in full fucking capacity and still thought that people needed to do fucking comedy. And, you know, they covered up COVID things. They did a lot of bad things, a lot of people. I can't see myself doing business with them. I don't want to do business with them ever again. You know, how can you do that to people? People were fucking getting sick, even though you got a PPL loan, and you're fucking still keeping the club open. Listen, I respect the clubs that opened up and spaced people and wore gloves and, you know, told people they couldn't come in, and, you know, they tried. They tried. I don't expect you, but I never expected you to be a fucking pig as a club owner, or a pig as a fucking agent, or a pig as a human being. And that's what I was surrounded with. For you people, just to clarify it, I'm not a pig and I'm not a sheep. I'm a fucking dog, okay? I call my own shots. I follow my own lead. I don't give a fuck what you want to do with your life. I know what I'm doing with my life. I'm not going anywhere to prove to, I'm not in anybody's ass. I don't have to go on tour on anybody to prove to anybody how cool I am. That shit's done with. I'm a bad motherfucker. I took myself out of the fucking rocket ship, and I made it all the way to a fucking house. And I did it with balls, heart, and the love of a fucking woman. You know, I couldn't have done it by myself. You want me to tell you I did it by myself? And I did it with the love that was surrounding from my friends. Some of the friends that are still my friends, and some of them that have moved on, you know. That fucking softball field last weekend, 8:30 in the morning, Mercy's godfather showed up with his daughter, you know. The 11 o'clock game on Saturday, fucking my brother Bobby showed up with my cousin Dennis DiLorenzo, fucking tremendous, the size of a fucking wall. And we were cursing at the ump and shit, you know, just, we weren't saying bad things to him. We were just saying, ump, good job, we're watching you, cocksucker, you know, like just to let him know. You know, I had a great time. I was just living a normal life. Usually I'd be in a hotel fucking kitchen eating at 11 o'clock in the fucking morning, you know, waiting there all day to go on stage at 8 o'clock at night. Like I said, I'm not saying never again. I'm never saying that. What I'm trying to tell you is, for right now, I'm a happier person. I'm enthusiastic. I have different things going on, and I hope you accept me for what the fuck I am. When it comes to do comedy, you'll find me at fucking Uncle Vinny's. I'll be ready to go, tip-top magoo. From time to time, I write a joke in a notebook now, but nothing serious. I'm just trying to work on the book, and I'm just trying to get my life together. Then again, I want to apologize to Lee for, you know, enabling him. And like I said, we enabled each other, but at the end of the day, we really, really loved each other. And we love each other even more now because we had this talk. We got it out in the open of what was really, really eating him and what was eating me. For the whole 2 weeks, I kept asking my wife, I wonder what's eating Gilbert Grape. It was all that shit. It's that I'm not a fucking pig. I'm not. I did my time. It's over. I don't give a fuck about what publisher signed us, what they think about a video. All that shit's over with. I don't give a fuck. You know, they're gunning for Rogan now. the Times is calling a bunch of people. The Business Reporter is calling a bunch of people. Who gives a fuck? You can't cancel what you can't fucking cancel. You can't cancel me. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I got a couple fucking years left of doing this, and I'm going to do it to the best potential. If you get insulted, go fuck yourself. If you want to write up about it, go fuck yourself. It don't matter. This train ain't fucking stopping. So if your feelings get hurt or you don't like what you're hearing here, I don't know what to tell you. But I have to be myself. I have to be who the fuck I am. I know my past and I know my motherfucking future, and I suggest you do the same. I look at prison and I look at the COVID pandemic. I'm very sorry to a lot of people who lost friends and family. I lost a couple myself. But I think for 60% of the people, this COVID was a silver lining, because they got to see what they really wanted to do and what they didn't want to do anymore. You know, people are changing jobs by the fucking day. People got a chance to think, and people got to appreciate what they had. And I hope you are one of those people by listening to the podcast and see what we're doing here. Everybody's changing, and we're changing for the better. Somebody said it on Patreon to me the other day. We're changing for the better. And that's the Monday Morning Podcast with Uncle Joey, better known as the motherfucking joint, okay? NFTs should be out this week on Patreon. If you notice, we changed the tiers to 5, 10, and 15. September 25th, I'm thinking of renting a movie theater out in New Jersey, very low area, very quiet area. Mike will be there. I'm going to invite Lee, and we're all going to fucking go to a movie together. I'm going to try to rent the movie theater out, a matinee, and all the $15 tier. You know, if you live close, if you can make it, I'll put your names on a list. There'll be no guests because we just got enough for us. So it's just us, so don't bring a guest, and we'll put your name on a list. I'm going to do this right, get security, and we'll go see a movie together. What's better than that? All of us together to see The Many Saints, and then afterward we'll take a fucking one big group Patreon picture and we'll go our own ways. What do you think about that? And I'm thinking of doing it all the time with different fucking movies. I'm in the mood to start going to see movies again. So Mike, what do you think? I'm down. You know, whether we smoke reefer, if we smoke a lot of reefer, then we're going to get thrown out. Then they're not going to have us back. So I suggest you get high in your car, drop your edibles in the car. You never know. We might have an edible person there. I'm not saying nothing.
It's legal.
But every once in a while, there might be one on your seat when you sit down at the movie theater. We might pull an Ari and play fucking, I'll have you there an hour earlier, looking for edibles in the mall. You know what I'm saying? Because the movie theater I have in mind is in a mall. So I really want to do this for you guys. As I was shooting The Many Saints in Newark, I was thinking about one thing. How once I do this, I'm done. Once I do this is why I got into comedy. You know, I left here a fucking bum. I'm still a half a bum, but I'm doing this movie for New Jersey. I hope that by me being in this movie, it makes you forget the bad things I did. It proves to you that I came a long way. I left here in 85, a piece of shit, miserable, lost kid who had done some really fucking bad things. I robbed a lot of people. I did drugs. I was careless. And I came back a responsible man with a family. What could be better than that? I think some of that was giving me anxiety also, you know. So thank you. Thank you for having my back. The NFT should be out this week, hopefully. You know, I talked to the guy the other day. They're excited. It's the picture of me when I'm a kid. I'm like 9, whatever the fuck it is. You know, crypto's down. Hey, what are you going to do? Elvis is dead and I don't feel so good myself. But for you people who are just regular people, I love you guys. And thank you. I'm very sorry about the inconvenience last week. I know you guys got us on speed dial every Monday at 7 a.m. and it'll continue from now on. But in a couple of weeks, we'll take another week off. Because you know what? Sometimes going away makes you fucking strong on the way back. So I felt great today. I feel good about the future. I feel good about everything, and I'm happy that you guys stuck it out with me through my fucking anxiety and my bullshit and what was going on with me. But guess what, motherfuckers? I'm back. So get ready to rock. We're going to start having a good time on all levels. Thank you very much for watching The Joint. And now for a word from our motherfucking sponsors. All right, I want to thank you guys for taking a ferocious ear beat. And listen, the suit don't fit, so don't expect much anymore. It's just, I just want to be a fucking dad, and I'm happy you guys understand that. But before we leave, I got to talk to you about a few people. The Joint is brought to you by BlueChew. Listen, BlueChew's fantastic. I'm 58 years old. I'm proud. I do deadlifts and squats. I still got a semi 3/4 hard on. But if I want to show up with the goods, I got to take a BlueChew. And listen, at first I was scared. You know what turned me on to Brad Williams is the one that said, you could do BlueChew. It's good for your heart. It started as a heart medication. BlueChew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis at a fraction of the cost. You can take it anytime, day or night. And it's simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com and you talk to one of the licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you'll receive the prescription within days. Days! And the best part is, it's all online. Nobody knows nothing. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no browbeating from the lady at the pharmacy. Your wife don't have to know, because your girlfriend don't have to know. Can you imagine? You show up with your girlfriend, you eat like 4 of these fucking Blue Tubes, and you give a dick for like 4 hours, her hair's all fucked up and shit. How are you gonna look? You're gonna be the man of the fucking year. And the easy thing is, it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Not even the fucking mailman knows. BlueChew tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly. USA! USA! This is a USA type hard-on. It's way cheaper than the pharmacy also. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, I mean, even if you got a great hard-on, you're 26, but you want your fucking dick to be purple with that pink fucking helmet vibrating, BlueChew can help. And they got a special deal for you. Try BlueChew gratis, free, niente, nothing. Use promo code Joey. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Joey, to receive your first month free. And as always, I want to thank BlueChew for sponsoring The Joint. The Joint is also brought to you by one of my all-time favorites. I'm staring at 418 boxes in my garage. How do you think I'm gonna get them out on a magic carpet? Fuck no. Stamps.com. They're tremendous. My wife has been working with Stamps.com since fucking The Sopranos got off the air in 2007. Are you still going to the post office? Why? I'll bet you're paying full price on postage too. That ends today. That's why I use Stamps.com. My wife sends letters, ship packages, t-shirts, mugs, hats, patches, anytime, anywhere, right from your motherfucking computer. Buy, print, and ship. It's that simple. With Stamps.com, you pay a whole lot less, and you get discounts up to 40% off from the post office rates and up to 62% from UPS rates. Stamps.com saves businesses thousands of dollars and hours. That's the most important, your time. Listen, we all got one foot in the grave when a banana peel. You want to be fucking around with boxes all day and sending letters to the post office. You got to wait on fucking line. Some guy's breathing on you. Those days are done. Stamps.com saves businesses and time, which is fucking what I love. Like I said to you, my wife's been with them for years. They're phenomenal. You weigh, you print up the fucking stickers, and the next thing you know, they got the fucking package. If that's not easy, I don't know what to tell you. This works for big businesses, small businesses. Stamps.com is a must-have. Print U.S. postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail. It's no wonder over 1 million small businesses have already used Stamps.com. You could ship anywhere in the world straight from your laptop, schedule a pickup, and the mailman comes to you, cocksucker. You can also take a walk and drop it off yourself if you like. But if not, Stamps.com, if you're not with Stamps.com, you're just fucking slipping if you have a small business or a big business. So stop wasting time right now by going to the post office. Go to Stamps.com instead. And what I'm going to do for you on a beautiful Monday morning, use promo code Joey. You get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and the digital scale. With Stamps.com, there's no long-term commitments or contracts. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone on the top of the homepage, and type in Joey, Joey. That's Stamps.com, promo code Joey. You'll be fucking tweeting me and thanking me later with your small business or your large business. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. I want to thank BlueChew. I want to thank Stamps.com, but most importantly, I want to thank you guys for having our back and supporting us in every fucking possible way you can. Again, I'm sorry about last week, but everybody needs to take a break from time to time. Stay black, have a good day, and enjoy your Monday, cocksuckers. We'll be back Thursday talking about fucking gambling with one of the best in the business. I love you, motherfuckers. Stay black. If we don't see each other, have a happy 4th.